Hello, insiders! Newsflash. First item, there is a new upload flow that is available to anyone that's using the Studio Beta. All you have to do is click on the upload icon in the top right corner of the Studio Beta, select the upload beta experience, and give it a try. It's kind of refreshed, it's cleaner, it looks a little more modern, there's some improvements there. There will be some even more significant improvements coming soon. Things that we're thinking about are making it easier to detect any issues with your upload before you publish, as well as some improvements to scheduling. We haven't implemented those yet, but when we do, it will be in that new upload flow. Give us feedback on what you think. So let us know in the comments below or in the product send feedback area. We think it's off to a good start, but you can keep it real. Next, real-time impressions and CTR has always been an exclusive feature to the Studio Beta YouTube Analytics. It was something that you had to wait 48 hours for, though. And so now we're reducing that wait time from 48 hours to closer to 3 hours. And that will be available to about 50% of users. And hopefully we can roll it out to 100% of Studio Beta users in the future. And that's a good way to just make sure that your thumbnail and title are kind of operating within normal ranges, or if it's really underperforming, you can consider making a change. Link below for a help topic explaining how to think about making changes to your thumbnail and title with this click-through rate data. Next, speaking of Studio Beta YouTube Analytics, we've made a number of improvements overall. First, we've refreshed the color palette because we're getting some feedback that it was a little bit hard to read and parse. So with the new colors, it's designed to be easier to figure out what's going on. We've also added thumbnails in the video cards, so not just the video title, but a little thumbnails to help you more quickly identify the videos. And we've also made improvements to the traffic source cards, help creators better understand the overall traffic sources and then the component parts. So please check that out. Let us know what you think. Speaking of the Studio Beta, we are removing the option to set Classic Studio as your default. There's a small percentage of creators who have Classic as their default. Going forward, everyone will be defaulted to the Studio Beta, to the new experience. There will still be a way to get back to Classic if you must. Next, we had some questions that came up in the comments and reached out to the internal teams who work on those features to see if they could give us some more color. So one area is around channel memberships, and there were two general questions we see coming up about channel memberships quite frequently. Number one is, hey, I have 30,000 subs, why don't I have channel memberships yet? Or, hey, why does this channel that has 1,000 subs have channel memberships and I don't? So let's address both of those. We're rolling out channel memberships slowly. If you're eligible for channel memberships, it doesn't mean you automatically get it. We're still rolling it out. So if you're not eligible, for sure you won't have channel memberships. But even if you are eligible, not everyone will have access to it right now. Of course, we want to increase that. But that's why you may have reached the 30K subs requirement, but you still don't have the feature. So stay tuned for more updates and ways to apply to be whitelisted if you really, really want it. And regarding folks who have 1K subs, we deprecated our gaming app and migrated everything from the gaming app to YouTube Home. And so we had already launched channel memberships to gamers and wanted to maintain their ability to keep the feature at that lower threshold. So that's why you might see some channels with 1,000 subs that have it. It's probably because they're a gamer and they used to be in the gamer app and that had different requirements. Okay. Next, there were questions about stories. So one question was about dislikes. We have no plans to add dislikes at this time. You can, however, adjust who you see stories from by clicking the three-dot menu and selecting Manage Recommendations for Stories. So if you really don't like to see stories about a specific topic or a particular type of story you're not interested in, that three-dot menu is a way to manage your recommendations, but no plans to add dislikes at this time. Next, a question about whitelisting and how people can be enabled for stories. Whitelisting happens about every 6 to 8 weeks. Once you are whitelisted, you'll get a notification letting you know. Much like channel memberships, just because you might be eligible for stories doesn't mean you will have access to it right away, but the team is very interested in getting more and more people on it. Next, there's a Studio Beta question about editing playlists in Studio Beta. So here's the thing about playlists. Editing playlists is only available on the main app in the desktop version, the main YouTube app. It's not even available in Classic. But in Studio Beta, we will add a clear link to playlists that will redirect you to the main app if that's your intent to edit it. And this will be launched in the next few months. So we will make that a little bit more convenient so you can always start in Studio Beta. And even if you have to go to main app to edit the playlist, you can do that conveniently from the beta and then come back. Next, we want to experiment with a new part of the newsflash, which is the merch shelves of the month. So we want to celebrate some creators who are doing a great job using the merch feature and give you an example of what it looks like when it's done really well, and also give a shout out to some creators who are trying really hard. So the first one is Seth James Demore. Seth's channel offers inspiration and motivation for falling in love with running. Now, he sells his merch on Teespring, but he promotes it with the shelf on his YouTube channel. And his motto is seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. He launched his merch in an amazing merch announcement video, which linked to below, to showcase all of his new apparel to his audience. So sometimes when you add merch to your channel, it's important to make a dedicated video letting everyone know. The shelf alone may be necessary but not sufficient. A video that kind of pitches it is great, and Seth has a great example of that. Next, the Holler Homestead. This family has sold their stuff in California, and they're traveling in a trailer through the U.S., and now they're in North Carolina revitalizing an old homestead. Now, their Teespring shop has merch with their logos and motivational quotes, and they regularly wear their merch in their channels to remind viewers that they have it. I am today wearing a Creator Insider t-shirt. Has a little chair, because we used to always shoot in that chair room. It has a Creator Insider on the back. In case you're interested, we also have merch on Creator Insider. You might be wondering, why is YouTube selling merch? All of the proceeds go to the Red Cross, but it helps us kind of test out the merch feature and kind of eat our own dog food and see what the experience is like. So that's the merch shelves of the month. Check out those channels and hope that was helpful. And lastly, rebranding. So Creator Insider, we've been around now for a couple of years, and we're going to do a little refresh to our branding. And just wanted to let you know that that's in process. You may see it, in the channel header in the future. So stay tuned. I think what we'd love to do is I'm proposing to the team that we share a couple of the little logo ideas and get your feedback. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll do maybe a post on the community tab or in a future video to get your input. So that's it for this week's Newsflash. Hope it was helpful. In the meantime, keep it real. Still there? All right. Movies. Here we go. Last week, Okay. Last week's movie was Chernobyl, and the first person to guess it that didn't edit the comment, Abbreviated Reviews. So congrats to Abbreviated Reviews for guessing Chernobyl. This week's movie will have a similar kind of scientific theme. And the other hint I will give you is that what I will read to you is from the theatrical production, but it's not a fictional screenplay, that these words were actually spoken for reals. Okay, you ready? Okay, all flight controllers, go, no go for landing. Retro, go. Fido, go. Guidance, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. GNC, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go for landing. Houston, you're go for landing over. Roger, understand. Go for landing 3,000 feet. Okay, so that was from a movie, an amazing movie, which you should all watch. Amazing, historic, incredible, just inspiring. If you know that movie, put it in the comments below, and if you're the first one, we will give you a shout out at the next newsflash. Keep it real.